Welcome back, everybody, to the Filmmakers Roundtable, the podcast dedicated to films, filmmaking, and getting insight from filmmakers working in the industry. I'm Thomas.
I'm Dylan.
So how are you, Dylan?
I just got off a morning shift. That was fun. It was actually really fun. I got to work the audio board while somebody was on location.
Nice.
It's a little bit more involved than the Johnson County games, but hey, work is work, and it was fun to do.
Yeah.
They say if you have fun, if you love what you do and you have fun, it's not work.
Yep, that is true.
But it was early in the morning that I had to get up. But
yep.
Yeah, I just recently posted a video.
Nice.
Because just the other day, the last Nintendo Direct for Super Smash Bros. Came out.
Cool.
A lot of things. Oh, excuse me. I clearly should have had water before we started doing this.
Clearly.
Yes, I clearly should. Thankfully, I have it here. But, yes, there was one last Nintendo Direct. For those who aren't familiar, Nintendo Directs are these little live streams with essentially announcing a bunch of Nintendo games, products, and such. This one was tailored for Super Smash Bros., revealing fighters and aspects of the game before it comes out in December, basically to build hype and anticipation. I did a little video, and that will be linked in the description below.
Cool.
Yep. What are you up to, Tom, while I take a drink obnoxiously?
I'm doing all right. I'm working on Awaken, working on getting dates locked down. Gotta get a couple more locations good locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta work things out with the actors, which is always, fun. So, and I'm also working on a couple of secret projects on the side. So, yeah.
Do.
Mm-hmm.
He's working for the Illuminati, folks.
You wish.
No, I don't wish you were working for the Illuminati.
Okay.
I don't know where this is going.
Right.
So, let's go right to movie news. I'm going to add reverb to this when I put it up on SoundCloud.
Well, good, because I'm not.
Along with...
when I do the video.
Come on. I'm talking like this. There's reverb that needs to be on here. All right. So, our first piece of news is Oscars alone don't explain Netflix premiering its movies in theaters. According to Quartzy.com, it's been reviewed. My mouse is all messed up. I'm trying to scroll down to get to the parts of this article that I need to talk about. Yes. According to this, Netflix is going to be taking its original movies, but they're going to be taking their best movies and putting them in cinemas first, withholding them for weeks before migrating them to the streaming service.
Cool.
And at this current time, three of Netflix's films will open exclusively in select theaters in the U.S. and abroad for 1 to 3 weeks before paying subscribers can watch them online. These include Alfonso Cuarón's Roma and a 6-part Western called The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and Bird Box, a thriller starring Sandra Bullock and Sarah Paulson.
Okay.
So we were actually talking about this earlier, and we were talking about, hey, they might do select theaters first, and then Tom said here that they might do select theaters first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I thought maybe they have the pulling power to do the whole country, but apparently they're going abroad. But it makes sense, 1 to 3 weeks in select theaters. That's manageable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially for the Titan that they're becoming right now.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I think
be a good chance for other indie filmmakers to get their films seen.
Oh, definitely. And we're actually going to get into this later about the streaming wars, as another article on our news likes to call it.
Yeah.
Tom here is going to really like it. But, sorry. I clearly need more water. But.
More water.
More water. I mean, more water, man. That's some high quality H2O. You not get that reference?
No, but move on.
Okay. Waterboy, Adam Sandler. So,
well, that's why I didn't get it.
Okay, moving on. But that's it. That's gonna be interesting to see Netflix movies in the cinema.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Build anticipation. Oh, hey, you want to see this movie? Go see it in theaters, or wait to see it when it goes to streaming.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Now we move on to a more fun article: the streaming wars, with the theme of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Naming all the big studios right now.
Yeah.
Like the House Amazon, the Lannisters. Like, and then you got House Disney, the Starks. And
the Disney would be the Lannisters, because the Lannisters are rich. Now he hasn't seen Game of Thrones,
so this is all Greek to me.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get him to watch the show before the final season comes out.
And then we got House Netflix, the White Walkers.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
This is just turning into, does this make sense with Tom Bolt?
Yeah. I
House Warner, the Iron Bank of Bravos.
Yeah. Again, I have to go back to Disney or Marvel, because they have all the money.
House Comcast, the Tyrells?
Yeah.
Tyrells.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then House... God dang it. No, I didn't want to go all the way down. House Apple, the... I'm going to butcher this. The Tarleys. There is no L in there.
The Targaryens.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just a bunch. This is. I'll put this in the description. This is kind of a fun article to look at.
Yeah.
Because it's not. Not only does it have these pictures here, but it's written like what I would presume would be exposition from a Game of Thrones episode.
Yeah.
If they were to have like a narrator.
Yeah. But Game of Thrones doesn't have a narrator.
Well. I said if. That's why I said if. The big if.
The only time it has a narrator is Liam Neeson for the musical. But the whole for those who've seen it, Game of Thrones fans, the whole sketch is about them a couple guys trying to get as many Game of Thrones cast together to make a musical. It's about making the musical. So and it's narrated by Liam Neeson. It's pretty great.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, but. You have to watch the show first. One, because you have to watch the show. Second, because you won't really get the rest of the scene. You won't really get the jokes.
Gotcha. All right. We move on to our third piece of news before we get to the news that Tom brought to my attention. Mm-hmm. Hollywood sees a job boost thanks to California tax incentives, a new report says. And according to the LA Times, David Ng, each year, California taxpayers give out hundreds of millions of dollars to tax credits to movie and TV productions that shoot in state. That money has helped give a significant boost to production jobs, according to a new report. The California Film Commission said in the report released Friday that the 12 months that ended in June, below-the-line union workers logged 15.6% more hours than in 2014. The year before the program began handing out 330 million in credits per year to select productions. The prior 12-month period ending in June 2017 showed a 12% increase in hours worked compared with 2014.
Interesting.
That's good. It's good to hear some nice economic news coming out of Hollywood.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Because usually the stories that make the news are things that blow. Like the only economics we really hear, or that really gets a lot of traction, is when a movie blows the box office out of the water, or they completely
bomb.
Yes, or they just. It's like.
Yeah.
Like an attempt was made, but wow.
Maybe we should go out there. We can probably get a couple jobs.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, we'd probably have to start as PAs.
Hey, started from the bottom. Then we'll be here.
But where is here?
Here could be here. It's all perspective.
Oh, okay.
But here is now, and then is now.
When will then be now?
Soon. How soon?
When?
Who? I love that movie, Spaceballs.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched Spaceballs, go watch it.
Yeah.
They're selling it on the. Here's a little insight for your movie purchasing. Just a little tidbit I'm going to throw out there. Walmart's been having this little special recently where they're selling a bunch of classic movies on Blu-ray, but the instead of steel cases, it's VHS cases. The box art of the DVD is meant to look like a VHS case.
So it's like all like got like crinkles.
Yeah, well, it's not actual crinkles. It's the
Right.
design.
Right.
Yeah, and then you got the VHS kind of sticking out. They got Terminator, Last Action Hero.
Oh. So it's at the store?
Yeah, Walmart. At a few Walmarts, they have an entire section dedicated to them.
Why has Ryan not told me about this? He usually tells me everything about that stuff.
Maybe I should start telling you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's moving on to the news I brought to Dylan.
Yes, what?
Tell
us.
The Los Angeles Film Festival is ending after 18 years.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it says here, the Los Angeles Film Festival has just moved to a slot. This is on Deadline, by the way. Has just moved to a fall slot, and now Film Independent says it is ending the fest after 18 years and will replace it with year-round events aimed at building community and broadening its support of visual storytellers. So it says the chair of the Film Independent Board, Mary Sweeney, we took a hard look at the healthy growth of film independence year-round programs and events over the past 6 years. The Spirit Awards of film series curated by Elvis Mitchell membership labs, workshops, filmmaker grants, and international programs. The board of directors which made the decision. In the end, we concluded that the organization should explore more nimble, sustainable form of exhibiting and celebrating independent film artists year-round. So, end quote. So.
That's a nice reason. I'll
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
Well, we just got to wait and see if this bears any fruit.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. And what's your takeaway, Tom?
It is kind of sucks because we've been through the festival circuit before. Nothing compared to this, but and we've seen it tank and end badly. So this is a reason. This is reasonable. So so it doesn't. I don't think it really explains. It's like any like hardcore reasons. Like if it was financially not doing well over the past few years or whatever. But I don't know. So it's reasonable. So
Yeah. Oh. Anything else, my friend?
no, I don't think so.
All right. That has been Movie News. Now on to movies we've seen this week. I went and saw Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween.
How was that?
Not as good as the first one. And I would have to go into spoilers about to explain why. Well, okay, I'll try indirectly to say what I didn't really like about this film by talking about the original. What I loved about the original. There were again, the original Goosebumps movie, it wasn't just, hey, let's remember all those Goosebump books we read in school and all the television episodes that we watched of the show.
Right.
It wasn't just that.
Yeah.
It was an actual story. It was entertaining. Jack Black as R.L. Stine made that movie for me. When Jack Black gets a role right, it makes the movie really entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Like he just has this presence to really lift up a film when he does a role right. School of Rock, Tropic Thunder. I could Be Kind, Rewind. You remember that one?
Yeah, I remember.
That last one. If you haven't seen that one, go watch that. That is actually pretty wholesome.
Please, Larry, you don't know what you're doing here. Stop!
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 Can a guy get a little privacy? God, we're just a bundle of John Chon quotes right now.
He is awesome,
and yeah. When he finally releases something, it's always a treat.
Yeah,
because funny we mentioned the YouTube last episode.
Oh yeah,
he has managed to stave off the
drama.
Oh no, the issues with the issues that some content creators run into with the new algorithm where you have to be producing so often to keep relevant.
Yeah, like each video, like the flex pay, that's like he said, man, when man who spent $378 on Flex Seal spray. He's like, friends would ask me, why didn't you just buy a new bucket or not destroy the one you have? And, I say, speak secrets. But anyway, he spent, however much money he spent on that, he earned it back. He's that has a lot of views.
He can take that long stretch of time between his videos
and make sure they're good.
Exactly,
which is his goal. It's just like he's not going to release something until he thinks it's absolutely good, which I like that a lot. Yeah. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, people gotta do videos out. They gotta pay bills and everything. But
exactly. But back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
And funny and it's funny you mentioned JonTron because he did an episode over the Goosebumps TV show.
Yeah.
Which was one of the best episodes out there.
FBI should be knocking on this door any moment.
Yes. This program has been canceled indefinitely.
Yeah.
But the original Goosebumps movie, the first one. I'm trying not to conflate first one original too often.
Yeah.
But the first Goosebumps movie, recent one, it felt like an actual episode of the show.
Right.
Not the issue that some animated movies get the moniker of. Oh, this is just an extended episode of the show.
Doug's first movie.
I actually like that one.
But okay, look at the Jimmy Neutron movie. I know that came out first, before the show, but it's just like, that wasn't just another episode, Or, what else? The Rugrats movie. So.
Yeah, well, the Jimmy Neutron and the Rugrats movie, they felt like movies, you know?
Exactly. The Doug's, didn't, not so much.
Okay. When you compare it to those two, I do see what you mean.
Yeah. Or the Fairly Odd Parents movies. So, I'm done.
Okay, some of those
some of them
I can see where you're coming from. Some of them I think those actually weren't the moniker of a movie.
Oh no, the one with Drake Bell. Oh god,
I've not watched that, but
I've seen parts of them. And they're just as terrible as they sound.
Well, I'm glad to hear that Drake Bell's got a music career right now.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, the first Goosebumps movie felt like an episode of the show in the good sense, not in the positive. It's a positive when I say this.
Right.
It felt like an episode of the show given a bigger budget and better actors.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it was kind of welcoming to see. Like, okay, this feels like the show. It's kind of welcoming. It felt welcoming. It felt right at home. Though the one thing is, where's the Goosebumps theme? They don't have it. Where is it?
Yeah.
That's like the horror theme of that's like the horror theme that 90s kids know.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But again, the casting was good. The effects, there was CGI. There was a lot of CGI in these movies.
Right.
Some effects were better than others. That's the thing you get when you use CGI.
Yeah.
But the first one, you really love that knife, don't you?
Well, it's a good shape, you know?
Okay. Are you threatening to use that on me because I'm going on so long?
As long as you don't talk about Pokemon.
This is who I have to do this podcast with every day, folks.
I'm not actually going to do it. So and I say that because I don't want to get the cops called on us. I don't want to get. I don't want you to get swatted.
Oh God. Oh God.
I don't want to get either of us swatted. So
yeah. But back to Goosebumps real quick. But yeah, first one felt like an episode of the show. Bigger budget, better actors. It was enjoyable. It was funny. Not necessarily scary because... Okay, granted, R.L. Stine could write some really screwed up stuff in his books occasionally.
Right.
But it did have that... aspect of the TV show where...
Yeah.
This isn't really scary when I see this, you know?
Yeah.
Though Jack Black is slappy, that is a match made in heaven right there.
Yeah.
Oh, scariest episode out of the TV show, the third Night of the Living Dummy.
Right.
That was the scariest for me as a kid. And I remember when Cartoon Network actually had the broadcasting rights for the TV show one Halloween.
Yeah.
That was fun. Those were some scary Saturday nights for a little kid.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, if you can get since I'm praising the first one in the way that I am, you can kind of figure out how I feel. Well, you know how I feel about the second one, but you can get where my points of contention come with the sequel. Again, I don't want to go into spoilers because it's tied to how I really feel about the film. Yeah. But it's Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween. The spirit's there, but it's just not as good as the first one, in my opinion.
Right.
Move on to you, Tom.
Okay. So this week I watched a French silent movie called Hughes. It's basically a film about it came out just after the First World War ended, which is essentially what it's about. And I think I discovered it I think either sophomore or junior year when I was in either world history or U.S. history, one of those two. I can't remember. And we watched parts of it in one of those classes, and I think we watched a bit of it when I was in college.
Okay.
I can't remember. I think it was like speech class or something. Because my speech teacher was a big film buff. So anyway, it's kind of hard to explain because it's a silent film. It came out in 1919, so the film's almost 100 years old. So, but and have you seen Metropolis?
No, I've not.
Oh, it's actually on Netflix. So
I need to see this.
Yes. So and I've seen it too. It's you'll see a lot of like Star Wars inspirations there. So, but it has all that. Have you seen any silent movies?
Yes.
Okay. So it's basically it has like the really hokey over the top acting because there was no sound to really to convey those emotions.
Yeah.
But it's the story of two men who love the same woman and meet in the trenches, during the First World War. I'm reading from the account, and then it's just it's just basically the horrors of war, and then the very end. If you spoil it, just a warning. This is a long movie. It's almost 2 hours 45 minutes. But
really,
yeah, it's actually on YouTube. It's public domain.
I would figure, being nearly 100 years old.
Yeah, it was directed by Abel Gance. There's something weird here. It says it's officially year 1919, but its release date was October 9th, 1921. So I don't know what's up with that.
That is odd.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's there are times of it where it's like pretty like creepy, like ooh, like how they look, and everything, because like I said, it's very over the top and everything, but and the very end is basically it's just large field plain. Oh, actually, before I say that, it has like a weird use of color. It's not in color; it's black and white, obviously, because this is 1919. Color did exist, but in various forms. But what they did is they would put like colored filters over the camera lens, and to simulate what feeling this is. It's like dark scene red or dreary scene red, light scene yellow, blue, whatever, etc.
Gotcha.
So, and sometimes when they would close out, like when the scene would finish, the actors would perform, and you could tell like the iris on the film cameras would just they would just close it. So
okay.
So like it would close, stop, and then but anyway, the end it's with this. The ending is this huge plain of dead bodies as far as the eye can see. So then one rises, and then he calls on the others. These are World War I casualties.
Yeah.
He commands them all to rise, and then they all start roaming through the village. They're basically to see what if their sacrifice was worth it. So,
wow.
It gives you, and it's a silent movie, but it gives you chills,
It gets you the chills.
Yeah, so
the cold shiver down your spine.
Yeah, so, but no, I think this is a really great film. So honestly, it's probably the best silent film I've seen. My favorite silent film I've seen. So,
what's your other favorite?
Probably Metropolis. So,
okay.
But oddly enough, there is a remake of this. It's by the same director too.
Okay.
Came out in 1938. Ironically, just a year before the Second World War began. So, wonder if that was kind of a warning.
What coincidental timing?
Yeah. I haven't seen the remake. I would like to, but I don't know. We'll see. So I don't really have much to say. You really just have to kind of see it.
One of those movies where you have to see it, to believe it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's because it's hard to explain like a silent movie. Like an old silent film that's 100 years old. So
definitely, especially a lot of. I would be hard pressed to ask somebody to describe like all those German expressionist films.
Yeah.
The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Yeah.
The Gollum.
Yeah. Gollum.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or just like you said, any kind of trippy silent film.
Yeah. So it's
because you could like, especially with the advent of sound in movies, we can boil down movies down to a single quote sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like for example, Back to the Future, Back in Time.
Yeah.
Great Scott.
Yeah.
This is Heavy.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. Spared no expense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, it's hard to explain. So, I do want to see the remake though. So,
all right.
I'm gonna have to try and see if I can find that.
Let's see if it's one. Let's see if it's a remake that is one of the greats. I mean, average, or down there.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's made by the same director. So, and it does use the older one uses, real footage of actual soldiers that died, and like when the dead are rising, there's like a split screen. I don't know how they did this back then. I guess like they spliced 2 film reels together.
That would make sense.
Yeah. But it's just like on the top there's like the dead, and then on the bottom there's like real footage of French soldiers returning. Yeah. It's just like this big, like it's like a parade they're walking underneath the Arc of Triumph. So.
Jeez.
Yeah. So.
That's very crafty.
Yeah. It's just like like a helicopter, like someone standing in like a pew or something on top. So
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's yeah. I mean, they worked with what they had back then. So
Yeah, and some of them could be very crafty.
yeah.
Especially the people behind Journey to the Moon.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
That's also on Netflix.
Based on the Jules Verne's novel.
Yep.
Jules Verne.
Yeah.
You want to know how close he got to the actual real life scenario of us going to the moon?
Mm-hmm.
He got the country down that would go to it, the U.S.,
Mm-hmm.
Florida, in the current location where the rockets take off. He calculated that it would be from that specific
Cape Canaveral.
Yes,
Yeah.
from that exact location.
Yeah.
He didn't. However, it wasn't a rocket. It was a huge gun, because it was a gun company that wanted to go up to the moon.
In the book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was an American gun company. They wanted to create a gun that could shoot them to the moon.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's amazing how this author, separated by so many
48 years. Or 58 years.
By 58 years, was able to get it that accurate. That is one hell of a coincidence. Or very good calculations on his part.
It's like how do I put this? You know, like the JFK assassination and the Lincoln assassination, that whole conundrum.
Oh yeah.
They were both shot in 68, and like the dates almost match up. So
their vice presidents had similar names.
Yeah, and
they had the same name.
And the assassin they were both killed like the day after it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So before they could really interrogate them.
And then they added the joke line: Abe Lincoln was assassinated in Monroe, Maryland, and JFK. Dang it! What was it? I screwed it up. It was basically a joke saying that JFK was sleeping with Marilyn Monroe.
Oh yeah.
I butchered it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I love little coincidences like that, because before the Titanic happened, apparently someone wrote a story where the situation was apparently eerily similar to the Titanic, but it was written years before that happened. And now they're wanting to build Titanic 2 and go the exact same route.
Yeah. Which is supposed to happen in a year or so. So.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So, anyway, I guess we can move on now.
Yeah, we can move on. Get to this discussion topic.
Yeah.
Special editions and other cuts of movies.
So, what automatically comes to a lot of people's minds is the Star Wars special editions.
Yep.
So.
I think you and I agreed on that situation. The whole debate on. I think you and I both agree. If George Lucas wants to change his films, they're his films, and he has all the power to do that. He literally has the power to do so.
No, not anymore. But he did.
He had the power to do that. But the biggest point of contention was that the originals weren't available in an accessible capacity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and that's the thing, And I think if they were, people would be more forgiving of them.
Yeah, it's like, okay, he can do whatever he wants as long as I have the original that I prefer.
Yeah, that's true.
And it just. You said that James Rolfe has an original cut of the movie, an original print of the movie on.
It's possible.
What made you think that?
Well, I mean, I think he showed in one of his videos that it was either him or Mike had a 35mm print of the movie.
Okay.
So I'm just saying. I don't know if that's 100% fact, but that's just what I heard.
Okay.
Or how I remembered it. So I could be wrong.
And more to special editions and other cuts of the movie, because for those who can see this in the video, and for those who can't see this and you're on SoundCloud, I actually have here Blade Runner, the final cut.
Yeah. How many? There's like 5 cuts of Blade Runner.
Yeah, there's the theatrical. Let me get a list of these.
The theatrical cut, the director's cut, the final cut.
I think. Yeah. We'll edit this out. Okay, here we go. Versions. Okay, we got the work. We got more than 5.
Really?
We have the work print prototype version, the San Diego sneak preview version, the U.S. theatrical release, the international theatrical release, the U.S. broadcast version, the director's cut, and the final cut, which was released in 2007. And it was, Ridley Scott's final cut. Oh yeah, final cut was the one that Ridley Scott had the most involvement with.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it was a it was. Oh wait, that's about a lot of the final cut has a full-length version of the Unicorn Dream, which had never been in any version of the film, and had been restored. Additional violence and alternate edits from the international cut have been inserted. So it sounds like the final cut is like, it's probably not to the same degree, but it's like different from various different sources. Not in the same vein. Never mind. It's just a bunch of stuff that coming together. But
right,
I wouldn't have known that because this is the only version of Blade Runner that I own, the final cut.
Yeah,
which Blade Runner is an amazing movie. If you haven't seen it, please see it.
Yeah,
especially that ending monologue. It's like,
ooh, yeah. God. But yeah, there's also films like the Terminator 2. There's multiple cuts of that. I think I have. I can't remember what I have. I think it's the extended edition. There's some stuff you could have probably left out. Or no, it's not the extended. The extended edition has like a sequence at the very beginning with adult John Connor in the future.
Mm-hmm. And then there's another part of that extended version that I remember as a kid because I cracked up at how ridiculous it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's a scene where they're heading out, and it's the scene before Sarah Connor meets up with her group of people to secure all those weapons.
Mm-hmm.
They're at this kiosk out in the middle of the desert,
right?
And John and the Terminator is looking over. Oh no, John is talking to the Terminator, to the T-1000. And he points him over to a guy at a phone, and he said, "That's smiling."
Yeah, oh yeah, yep.
If you ever, this is a scene where you get to see the Terminator smile, and you realize that you never want to see the Terminator smile because it's just hilarious.
Yeah,
especially how he delivers it.
Yeah.
Here's something for the video version. This is how he delivers it.
I think you're going to give some people nightmares.
Yes, I think I am, because it was that ridiculous.
Yeah. Or what was cool was when he was just like, trust me. I love Arnold.
You gotta love the man. He is a walking. In his heyday, he was a walking action star. You just wanted to see him in anything. If you saw him in a movie, it didn't matter what it was about.
Batman
you wanted
and Robin.
The Iceman cometh.
Yeah.
He is one of the best parts of that movie. Even though we should be fearing him, he's one of the best parts.
He's the 80-ton gorilla in the room. You have no idea what he's gonna do, but you know it's just gonna be hilarious.
Yes. And the visuals on that movie were really good.
Yeah. So I have a list up here, Screen Crush of cuts that are better than the theatrical version. So apparently Aliens has a special edition.
I have not heard of this.
Yeah.
I think I might have the regular cut.
Yeah, it has an additional runtime of 17 minutes. I'm trying to see if you can. I think it was made for broadcast television. So, Cameron added scenes that had been cut from the theatrical release, including a suspenseful sequence in which the Marines set up sentry guns to stave off an alien onslaught.
Wait, that's not part of the original cut? Because I remember seeing that scene.
That's just what this says.
Huh.
What else?
Halloween.
Yeah.
The original Halloween had a different cut.
Yeah.
The television broadcast, it actually added a few. They actually reshot. They actually shot some additional scenes because they could. The original movie on itself couldn't fill the broadcast time.
And The Outsiders.
Yes.
My most popular video on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I think it's almost at like 45K, maybe 50K views.
Here's another example from Halloween. Halloween 6. The theatrical cut and the producer's cut.
Dylan, don't make me add another cloud here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just don't go off, okay? We're trying to stay on topic here.
Well, we are staying on topic. I'm talking about two different cuts that people have been debating, and I'll keep it at that, so you stay awake.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I feel like I have been, but I don't care. I don't care about horror movies.
I'm trying not to be. I'm not offended. I know you don't care. It just relates to the topic at hand.
I gotcha, but okay. Brazil.
What?
Yeah, Brazil. The box sets devoted to 1985's Brazil, released by the Creaton Collection on Laserdisc, DVD, and Blu-ray, serve as an alarming lesson. Okay, this is just a feeling film. Okay, Universal Pictures attempted to lighten the movie's mood by removing the final reveal that is only an imagination. The character's reveal. I'm not going to go into spoiler. At the last minute, Gilliam was able to convince the studio to agree to a compromise, a shortened version that managed to preserve his dank vision of society. At 132-minute, that 132-minute version was an American audiences saw, and although it's better than the nonsensical 94-minute Love Conquers All version that Universal prepared, Gilliam's 142-minute cut is the most detailed and interesting take on the nature of evil. So.
If we're going to talk about cuts of movies, we got to talk about Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
This man can take a 3-hour movie, release a director's cut that's nearly 5 hours. 5 hours. God.
Good thing those movies made a lot of money.
Yes, they did.
Because the studios would be pissed. Oh. He would if those bombed, he would never work again.
Oh no. He would probably have to go back to making the goriest movies ever made.
Yeah.
Now let's get into why do other cuts of the movie of movies exist. Well, there's several different reasons.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, the studio.
Yeah.
I won't go off on it, but in the case of Halloween 6, the studio wanted something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had an agenda, especially considering it was that cut of Halloween 6. The theatrical one was done by the Weinstein Company.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Just to give you a taste, they didn't want a certain actress because she looked too skinny, according to Mr. Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
I'll leave that for you to take as you will.
Yeah.
But then there's the director. And then there's also the director's preference. Like, let's go back to Blade Runner. Ridley Scott had the most involvement with the final result of Blade Runner with the final cut.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was the director's cut, but the final cut he had the most involvement in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So why didn't they call the director's cut the final cut, and the final cut the director's cut?
I don't know.
Surprisingly, on this list, The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, it's talking about the special edition.
Oh, okay.
Which makes sense. It's the least altered, and like the sequence with the wampa eating its dinner. It was a real man in suit.
Yeah, that was awesome. I liked that as a kid.
Yeah, or
I was scared of that as a kid.
Yeah, or in Cloud City, like the hallways, it was just all white, and then they added some windows and a balcony. So
What I love about different cuts of movies or special editions of movies is when they add on, when they add something, when their addition to it adds to the overall film.
yeah.
I mean, like all the power given to past George Lucas when he had the power to do it, but in A New Hope, a lot of.
But okay, I have a funny story about that.
Yeah, go ahead. It's just I was going to go off on the CGI.
The first version of A New Hope that I ever saw was the special edition from 1997.
Yeah.
So I grew up with the Jabba stuff and Greedo shooting first. I never thought about it.
Yeah.
But the first version of Empire was the 1994 version that came out. So not that one that you have over there, but it's another set.
Gotcha.
That I have. But I remember this vividly. We had the tape that one came in was the special edition slipcover.
Really?
Yeah, but it was the 94 version because it had the interview with Leonard Maltin and George Lucas.
Huh. Really?
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe some kind of boycott or rebellion? We have no proof of this, but it's something to think about,
I mean, we will not be denied our special editions by the vicious acts of Count Dooku.
I'm just saying because I think I still have that tape because we would rent. Yeah, this was back when we rented tapes from I think this was from Movie Gallery. Remember that?
I don't remember Movie Gallery actually.
Really? There was two here in this town.
I probably moved here after they were gone.
When did you move here?
When did I move here? It was right around, I believe, second grade. So that was
like 2000. That would have been like
2002.
2002. Yeah,
roughly, maybe 3.
I was in kindergarten in 2002, 2003. So,
and I'm just one grade above you
at the time.
At the time,
yeah.
So you were in kindergarten. So maybe 2003. Because I was in Indianapolis for kindergarten, first grade.
Yeah. Okay.
So but anyways, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, well, yeah, there were two movie galleries here. One where the Sleep Shop is, and the other one is where O'Reilly Auto Parts is now.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember them vividly.
I remember vividly we had a Blockbuster.
Yeah, I remember
by Lowe's.
Yeah, we remember. I remember when Blockbuster came, and I remember when Blockbuster left. So, there were others. Family Video that's actually still here today.
Yeah, my brother actually works there now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, but that's still here. I'm trying to think. There was that D Rose Video. It was like a family. It was like a local owned one. It's actually where that car dealership is now.
Bradley?
No, it's across from it. Where like sometimes.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The little one, the little car dealership.
Yeah, that one. That's
by that road that takes you behind Taco Bell.
Yeah,
and all that.
Yeah,
all
that's
those restaurants.
That's where that was a video store. My grandfather and I went there once, so it was something. Yeah. So and it had little curtained off section.
Yeah.
There were
movies for mom and dad.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Movie Gallery, Family Video, Blockbuster. I could have sworn there was another. No, I think that's all there were. All the times there were four movie rental places here in our hometown that coexisted.
And only one is still standing.
Yeah, and they were all in very close vicinities of each other.
Yep.
All on the same strip of highway. Well, not highway, but
I'm surprised Family Video managed to outlast Blockbuster.
Yeah. Yeah, because Blockbuster was bigger.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I don't know. Family Video's doing pretty well because it's mostly here in the Midwest.
I think they got that more hometown feel. I think Family Video has that.
Yeah.
Though oddly enough, there's one up in Greenwood, which is more reflective of It has a more city atmosphere.
Yeah. And then there's one somewhere that's like a merge with Long John Silver's, which I know those are going away now.
Oh. I don't know.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. Yeah, they're starting to merge with other companies. Like Marco's Pizza just opened next to the Family Video here.
That's going away.
Just the what?
The Marco's Pizza.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, because I have a brother on the inside, I learn things. But apparently Marco's isn't making any money.
Like at all?
Well, they're making money. They're not making enough money to sustain their business model being attached to Family Video.
Huh. That's another thing that's so, like fragmented around. That's really big around here. Pizza. You know, there's Chicago's, Marco's,
Little Caesars, Papa John's,
Pizza Hut, Domino's. There used to be a Pizza King.
There's still a Pizza King over by the skating rink.
No, it's closed.
What?
Yeah, it closed down like a year ago.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, I was sad. I was like, oh, they had the best pizza.
I only ever went there once.
That was my place, you know.
That was your hangout.
TVs, video games.
The controllers mounted right on the corner of the table.
No, not anymore.
Oh.
They stopped that.
Oh.
But they had like PlayStation 2 games. Like I think like the story goes because my mother knew the owner. She died. She was old. You know. And then like some family tried to keep it going, but they weren't business people. They weren't really interested, so they shut it down. So
dang. Now
I think they sold the property. So
I should have gone in there. Now that I'm an adult, I should have gone in there.
Yeah, you should have. It was the shit. So, okay, but we've got
back to special editions and cuts.
Yeah. So, I guess really bottom line is there's nothing wrong with them, but you know, keep the originals intact. Yeah. You know,
if someone like let's go back because he's the prime example of this.
Yeah.
We'll go back to George Lucas. If people fell in love with the original version of your film, make it publicly available because that's what they love.
Yeah.
And don't make it public. Yeah, make it publicly available, and then people will eventually check out the special editions. They'll be. I had a train of thought that I wanted to go on there, but I thought about it. I didn't want. I don't know. It goes back to the thing. If they had been publicly available, there wouldn't have been all that criticism. There wouldn't have been a lot of angry. There wouldn't have been a lot of angry. What? Okay.
I'll post a screenshot.
Nicolas Cage's upcoming movie is using quotes from Satan in its ads.
We'll
talk. Okay, we'll talk about that later in the episode. Apparently,
we'll talk about. We'll have to talk about that in another episode because I think we're going a bit long here. But if
they were just publicly available, there wouldn't have been a lot of that debate. There probably wouldn't have been that documentary, The People versus George Lucas.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I know how you feel about that documentary. Tom.
I've eased up with it.
Yeah, there were some people in there that were very level-headed. And some of them hit the nail on the head that just have the originals publicly available. This wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
But you do have the people who take it too far.
Yeah, I'm just like those two assholes singing "Joy Lucas raped our childhood." Oh my god.
No.
Well,
can you blame them because the original doesn't? Well, you can partly blame them because the original doesn't exist publicly.
Yeah, but that wasn't what the song was about. It was mostly about the prequels.
Oh.
Yeah, at least from what I remember.
Yeah. But yeah, he's the biggest example. If you make a film that people love in its original version, but you want to change it, go ahead and change it. You have the power to do so.
Yeah.
There's nothing really stopping you besides yourself. But if people fell in love with the original, keep it publicly available as best as you can.
Another great example, Superman 2.
Oh, yeah. Or the original Superman.
Yeah.
No, it was Superman 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because for those who don't know the story of Superman 2, the original director from Superman was brought on for the sequel, but the studio fired him after a while.
Yeah.
But he had filmed a lot of footage. So they hired a new director to film additional footage, but some of the other footage that the first director filmed wasn't used, but then it was added later back in as the director's cut.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's actually the preferred version amongst a lot of Superman fans.
Yeah. I haven't seen the second Superman movie, actually. I've seen the first one.
I want to get the director's cut of the first one and the second one.
I have it, so.
Oh, the first one?
No, the second, the Richard Donner cut.
Like the Richard Donner cut.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. I think we've rambled on a bit enough. So,
yeah. But yeah, keep the originals the originals out there.
Okay, so on to our filmmaking topic, location hunting.
Location. This is the place where your film will come to life, or you'll bring life to your film on. It is the field on which your actors will charge forth with their acting prowess and conquer bad acting.
Did you take your medicine this morning, Dill?
I don't take medicine.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I don't take medicine.
You sure?
I'm playing it up. I'm trying to have fun. What's the point of going through life if you can't have fun?
That's true.
And be a little silly.
Yeah. I know it's hypocritical of me to say because I've been medicated for my ADHD, so yeah. I'm sorry.
It's all right, but I just reminded of a Doctor Who quote from the Tom Baker Doctor.
Yeah.
What's the point of growing up if you can't act childish sometimes?
You got me there.
But to location.
So how do you get locations? What locations do you use? Etc.
Well, first off, you have to imagine the scenery that your scene is taking place in.
Yep.
What do you want?
Yep.
Now, Don Wettrick, this man put this idea. He didn't put this. It wasn't an idea he put in our head, but he warned us. He told us that our minds have an unlimited budget.
Oh yeah.
In our minds,
mine being this big example because I have an overactive imagination.
Our minds can do things, effects that no one has ever seen, CGI that is perfectly implemented.
Some for good reason. I mean, let's be real here.
But yes, what we think what we can come up with in our mind, we can do it effortlessly in our minds.
Right.
But bringing it into some semblance of reality, that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Very hard. It's going to cost a lot of money, a lot of man hours.
Yeah.
And locations are one of those things.
And unless you're Peter Jackson, you're not really going to have any of those things.
But the best way to go about scenery, and in our experience, is have that ideal version in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Use it as a guiding rod.
Yep.
Look around and then find. You're not settling because remember your mind
settling for less.
You're not settling for less. You're going with what is going to be closest to what you want.
Yeah.
And then but there's always that chance you're going to find something that's absolutely perfect.
It's rare, but
yeah, it's very rare, but it's absolutely perfect. Maybe not to the exact specifications you came up with in your mind, but it hits you. You're like, I want that location.
Yeah, it's never gonna be like even like the most, even Hollywood, even the top Hollywood creators, like it's never gonna be their exact vision.
Exactly. I'm gonna hopefully find this video for you guys. There is a video out there talking about how a city has never played itself in a movie. In Hollywood's history, there's one city in the U.S. that movies take place in, but it's never been actually filmed in.
Oh, yeah, Fault in Our Stars. It's a good example.
Mm-hmm.
Because it takes place in Indianapolis, because John Green's from Indianapolis.
Exactly.
But it was filmed in Pittsburgh.
Yes, but there's a very famous city that that a film taking place in never actually films there.
What's that?
I can't remember the city, but I know there's a video about it.
Podcast correction.
Yes, a podcast correction right there, Dylan of the future.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay. So you have your idea for a location. You have your ideal location in your head, and you want to go find something that is as close as you can get.
Yeah.
Where do you start? Start in your hometown and look around the places that you know, the places that you don't know about your town, because you never know what you're going to find.
Mm-hmm.
And if all else fails, go online. There's several databases for film locations. See if your state has a film location database.
Yeah.
Indiana has one.
Surprisingly.
Mm-hmm. And look around.
I've used that before.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we kind of have to give our own experience of getting locations.
Yep. Go ahead.
Obviously, you have to ask.
Yes.
But we have a recreational center here in our hometown. This place called the Benson Hall, or the Beeson Hall, I should say.
Beeson Hall.
Yeah. We used that for Star Wars Dark Force Episode 4. So that was for Raven and Coda fight. So
Paper Lake, when we were doing that, we used our high school.
Yep.
We were actually able to get in. We talked with the principal. Well, I talked with the principal, and we later talked with the manager of the auditorium to allow us to get in.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Other places we filmed here in the local parks.
Yep.
Here in our hometown. I've actually filmed in a few restaurants here around.
Oh, really?
These are mostly from back in the day because I remember. You know where Gigi's Sugar Shack sits right now?
Yeah.
It's right there by Bojack's, the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That used to be an entirely different restaurant. We actually filmed the Give Me Novocaine music video back then.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I remember that. I remember that location specifically because they were the ones willing for us to walk in and say, "Hey, could we film here?" And they said, "Sure."
Yeah. There's another in Passion Never Stops. We used a place called Benjamin's, the coffee shop downtown.
I've been there.
Yeah, that's we've a lot of people have filmed there multiple times. We walked in. We asked. We were filming outside, so we asked if we could film there, and they're just like, "Yeah, sure."
Because here's the thing to keep in mind: just ask.
Yeah, and it's better to use local owned places, not big corporations. Like I remember freshman sophomore year, this one girl, they were trying, and her in FCTV they were trying to get a coffee shop location. They went to Starbucks. They asked, and said no. So I just said, just go to Benjamin's.
I tried that with Buffalo Wild Wings for Paper Lake.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah. I tried to get that for the ending scene where all the guys.
You sure it was Buffalo Wild Wings?
Well, no. That was the original idea. The original idea that was going to be
I'm just saying, the Buffalo Wild Wings wasn't here.
Oh no, it wasn't here. But we were going to go up to one on Southport.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, well.
Oh no, not Southport. County Line. We were going to go up to County Line or that one on 31.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But when I called them, they said you had to contact corporate, and that was going to take forever.
Yeah. And I know Ryan. I think it was sophomore year. He did. He was in a BPA, Business Professionals Association, a little club at school at our high school. I wish I was a part of that, but and he did a little Doritos commercial, and he filmed at the. It's not here anymore. It was called Noble Romans, another pizza shop. So,
yes.
So. That's the one I forgot to mention. So I think it's a different pizza shop now.
Gotcha.
So,
but yeah, like Tom said, use your local. If you want a restaurant scene or any store scene, go to your local stores and restaurants. Yeah. Just walk in, obviously be professional. Yeah. And just ask.
Yeah. So ask to see the manager.
Yeah.
Fill out paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
Get contracts in place. Because they could try to rip that away and try to sue you, which we if you just go off by a handshake, which we can go more into that we'll talk more about that on another episode, but getting contracts in place, but get those in place, dot those I's, and cross those T's.
But local stores are more often than not going to say yes to something like that because hey, who doesn't want to have their place featured in a movie?
Yeah.
Or just a video that's going to be seen by a lot of people.
That reminds me.
Why do you think people try to get product placements in movies?
Yeah, it reminds me of that. I didn't know this guy, but you probably did. In FCTV, there's this guy who would go to car dealerships.
David Land.
Yep, that was the guy. I remember him.
I follow him on Twitter. He's been doing a lot of NASCAR.
I don't remember him, but I don't remember him because he graduated before I did, before I was in high school. But Wetrick talked about him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, So yeah, he would go to car dealerships and he would ask, hey, can I, take one of your cars out for a test drive? And he would like strap like a GoPro on it,
Mm-hmm.
And like for like TV stuff, and they were just like, yeah, sure. So
Yeah.
and,
You never know what someone's gonna say until you ask.
yeah. Or this is kind of off topic, but one teacher I had, he mentioned like because he knew I was in FCTV, he mentioned like this one guy a few years ago who glued like a big McDonald's cup on top of the roof of his car. Do you remember that?
I don't remember this. What?
And he would drive through like public parking lots to try and like fool people. You don't remember that?
I don't remember this.
Yeah, I don't think I do either. That was before me, but so yeah.
That sounded like fun to watch.
Yeah. So I don't remember that.
But yeah.
So
important thing to keep in mind with your locations. If you can't get anywhere local, you might have to do some traveling. So keep in mind how far you're going to have to travel out for something.
Yeah.
That's going to affect your scheduling. What shots you can get on a certain day.
Yeah.
How long you're going to be working on a day. Because if you have to really go out far...
That's another thing.
that also ties into planning.
Yeah,
Make sure you
like
pre-plan.
how long do you have to shoot that? Because like with Dark Force, we only had I think we had to be out of there by like 6 o'clock, which we were. I mean, we had like just under 3 hours to shoot that scene, so it worked. But oh man, the art room scene, the Kiru and bounty hunter fight scene in episode 4, we had like 90 minutes to shoot that, so because we had to be out of there by like 4:30, 5 o'clock, so. If I was smarter, because like we would have, because we could have, because it was like right before Thanksgiving break, and none of them were going anywhere. They would have been there like on a Friday, like Black Friday, to where we could have filmed there, and the place would have been open and would have let us, and they had more rooms available. I just shot on that day because I had to get it done. I had a deadline, but what I should have done was postpone it to that Friday, so instead of the Wednesday before or Tuesday before, I can't remember, but yeah.
Scheduling, and always remember this: to be on time is to be late.
Yeah. To
be early is to be on time.
Correct. And you said this before. Leave the place cleaner than when you arrived.
Yeah. For our Boy Scouts out there, the outdoor code. If we got any Boy Scouts out there trying to be filmmakers, you remember that outdoor code, even if you're inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just that. And for those who aren't familiar with the outdoor code, it means don't destroy nature and leave it better than when you found it.
Yeah, like the when we did the Stigma and Anxiety documentary last year, you brought that to my attention. Of course, I knew to clean the place up, but
it's a nice courtesy thing.
Clean it up, like we would pull chairs out. It's just like get better shots, better lighting, and everything. And yeah, we did what we had to do.
It's common courtesy. You come into somebody's place, you clean up.
Yep.
That will look good on you, and people will think you're professional. And people will talk about that.
Yeah, oh yeah. And the reason we say that is because we've heard stories. I don't think it's ever happened to us, but it's like people that filmmakers that before try to ask a location to use them, they say no because filmmakers before came to them and they left the place all destroyed and everything.
Or an entire movie that tore out a huge chunk of a forest and tunneled through an entire mountain just to shoot something, just to get a ship across a thing of land. I can't remember the name of the movie.
Or
but there's a documentary about it.
No, the Birdemic. Yeah, they shot in like a movie theater parking lot in L.A. The movie theater's not there anymore. Yeah.
Did they do something or what?
No, they just shot in the parking lot, and then a few years later, the theater's not there anymore. So yeah, there's like in I think like Fanboy Flicks and I Hate Everything. They did episodes about that. Oh, and the same thing with Birdemic 2.
What went missing? Where did they film?
A restaurant. There's a restaurant they filmed in. Doesn't exist anymore.
Jesus.
Yeah. So we now that may be a little different issue, but it's like we don't know what happened. So
I had a really good example outside of the one where they tunneled through an entire mountain.
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know the movie, but yeah.
Same here. But there's an entire documentary about it.
Yeah.
It's the same one where they had to amputate that guy's arm.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it was that same movie. But there was another good example that I was remembering, where they destroyed half a section. What was it? It was a good one. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Destroyed half of what?
Oh no! They destroyed what did they destroy to do this film?
Gas station.
Not a gas station. What was it? I can't remember. It was I feel like it was a really good one. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back to me later.
Yeah.
They destroyed. It was really significant that they destroyed something. Something really significant.
Statue.
A statue. What was it? This isn't the example I'm thinking of, but Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
What was that?
It wasn't severe, but it was notable. It's the scene where they've encountered the French at that castle. They're charging the castle, and everything's being tossed on them. And it's the scene where everything's being tossed on them. Well, if you pay attention to Sir Lancelot, he actually thrusts and swipes his sword at the castle. Right. And to this day, I'm pretty sure it's worn out over the years. The marks from Lancelot's sword are still in that castle. I'm trying to remember if they got in trouble for that, but it was very minor in the long run for Monty.
There's a couple locations from Monty Python that are used in Game of Thrones. Yeah.
The actual real castles in Britain.
Actually, that rant in Monty Python, Holy Grail, it's someone yells it at the character in for those who know, in Essos, at one of the characters, but it's in one of their Game of Thrones languages.
Okay. God, that's
and he's got his thing out and he's pissing on the ground because that's like how they challenge them.
Okay.
Or they make their mark. So.
Well then.
Yeah, you have. Let's say you have to watch the show.
Okay, but destroyed. They destroyed something. They left it. Not necessarily destroyed, but caused some stress for the people who now live there. The Goonies house.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't any. Well, it was some bad stuff. It was the Goonies house is still there, but the family that owns it right now has completely cut off visiting from tourists.
Oh yeah.
They used to. What happened was people started vandalizing it.
Yeah. No, or it's like in Breaking Bad, the Breaking Bad house. People kept throwing pizzas on top of the roof.
Come on,
yeah. Yeah, it's like the owner said, she doesn't mind if people come visit, but please stop throwing pizzas on top of the roof.
At least throw something that I like up there.
I heard they've fenced off the area now, or they've moved out or whatever. They don't do that anymore.
It's the old mantra of
the Drake and Josh house.
What happened to the Drake and Josh house?
I don't know, but it's gone. Yeah, like the actual house they use for exteriors. So
everything's gone. Everything's gone. Like Luke's home. No wait.
No, that's still there.
Oh yeah, it is still there.
Although I've heard it's an ISIS stronghold.
That's depressing.
I don't know if it still is, but
I know
that like where they shot that area.
Yeah.
But I heard that hotel is still there.
Yeah. It was. But didn't another section of that area get completely covered in sand? Like there's an actual Star Wars fan fund to dig out that area.
I didn't hear about that, but maybe.
I'm trying to think. There's a really good example. I feel like I'm missing a really good example of filmmakers completely wrecking an area with absolutely no regard. What was it?
I guess you could count like the Universal fires that keep happening.
What?
Because Universal Studios and the theme park has all these fires.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the back lot where they shot Back to the Future and all kinds of other movies were destroyed by fire. Oddly enough, because the courthouse was struck by lightning. Ironically.
Well, I got a list actually here from The Guardian who named a few.
What's that?
We've got the examples that they and I have are the bridge of the River Kaiwa.
Bridge under the River Kwai.
Oh, Kwai. Oh. Apparently, it was a movie based on a novel about British prisoners who built a railway bridge for their Japanese captors. The movie necessitated the construction of a bridge that would ultimately be destroyed. Native laborers cut down 1,200 giant trees from the surrounding forests. Then there's Paths of Glory. Stanley Kubrick's first World War film was shot in 3 main locations in and around Munich: a medieval chateau, the large Gressestag Studios, and a country pasture that Kubrick and producer James Harris rented from a farmer. Perhaps what they first barns, they built barns, buildings, and sheds. Oh no! What? The farmland. They destroyed the barns, the buildings, and the sheds on that farm.
Huh.
The workmen shredded trees and spring foliage with shell fire to create a gray wartime environment.
Yeah.
And digging crater holes in trenches with cranes, workmen set up barbed wire and scattered World War I shell casings, old equipment, and even a 1915 warplane. And then there's Apocalypse Now, which I think we can sum up with Francis Ford Coppola famously saying, "The movie was not about Vietnam. It is Vietnam, and we made it. And the way we made it was very much like the way the Americans were in Vietnam. We were in the jungle. There were too many of us. We had access to too much money, too much equipment, and little by little, we went insane."
Yeah.
Biggest takeaway from this: if you can minimize. Okay, don't have that drastic of an effect on the environment. If you can't avoid it, minimize it.
Yeah.
If you break something while you're on location, you best be offering to repair it for the people that allowed you to film there.
Yeah. I think we've gone on a bit long enough.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I still feel like there's something that I'm missing, but it'll probably come back to me later.
So yeah, bottom line, get papers filled out, don't destroy, keep it clean.
Yep. Be in and out and listen to the rules. Yep. Don't go into that restricted section of the library just because you want to film a fan scene from a Harry Potter movie. I don't know. I just... Sorry.
No. I'm like, what kind of fan scene are you talking about in a restricted section of a library?
I don't know. It's just that there was a... Stop. The restricted section was a thing in the first Harry Potter movie. I was just going... I had a thought, and I followed the connecting dots, and now I'm going to deliver the closing. Thank you once again, everybody, for joining us for the Filmmakers Roundtable. Follow us on SoundCloud and YouTube for video and audio. Always, please leave your feedback in the comments below. We greatly appreciate it. If you want us to check out something, leave that in the comments below. Any special links that we mentioned throughout this video, including any special videos or things that we find of keen interest, we'll leave those in the description below. As always, keep on filmmaking, folks. We'll see you next week.
You're gonna die.
No!
Thanks for watching this week's episode, guys. Make sure to follow us on SoundCloud and iTunes, as well as our Facebook and Twitter pages.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Roundtable, as well as our personal YouTube channels, all the links of which will be provided in the description. Thanks, guys, and we will see you on the next episode of the Filmmakers Roundtable.